dividing urban neighborhoods to create easy access to government-subsidized developments in the suburbs with restricted covenants prohibiting the sale of suburban homes to African Americans, to redlining practices in communities of color, further devaluing those neighborhoods, to the GI Bill, a well-deserved financial boon to our servicemen, unless, of course, you were a serviceman of color, to the war on drugs and mass incarceration, disproportionately of men of color, to the school. I would like to thank you all for being here. And to thank those of you who have shared your thoughts and feelings with the courts, either in writing or in open court here today. It is very meaningful to me, and I believe that it is important for the defendant and the world to hear what you have to say. I am very sorry for your losses and the pain that you feel. I would like to recognize the heroic officers of the Buffalo Police Department who, without hesitation, ran towards the danger of an active shooter call, swiftly and professionally stopping and containing the defendant and putting an end to his evil rampage. Thank you. I have spent a lot of time thinking about this case, our community, our nation, how we got here, and where we go from here. It all comes down to character and having the strength to stand up for what is right. Our character is not defined by the good and easy times. It is defined by the hard and challenging times. And often, our character is revealed not necessarily by what we say, but by what we do. I am both immensely proud of and grateful for the way Buffalo has rejected the evil and hate that was inflicted on our community. The character of good people throughout this city, county, state, nation, and even internationally has shown through as they have stood with the victims of this heinous and cruel act. This indictment speaks to the 13 victims and their families that lost the most. But they are not the only victims. There are thousands that have been traumatized directly and vicariously by this defendant's actions. We have seen the community turn out in support and are seeing signs of much needed change in East Buffalo. It is a testament to the power of love and compassion to overcome evil and hate by turning pain into purpose. But it is just the beginning. We have a long way to go. This hateful act and other similar hateful acts across the country, motivated by white supremacy and replacement theory, are a reckoning for us as a nation. The ugly truth is that our nation was founded and built in part on white supremacy, starting with the treatment of Native Americans by the first European settlers, to the cruel, inhumane, economic engine, nation-building practice of slavery, to indentured servitude, to Jim Crow laws, to government policies creating segregated public housing with communities of color often placed in environmentally hazardous locations, to the manner in which expressways were built, dividing urban neighborhoods to create easy access to government-subsidized developments in the suburbs with restricted covenants prohibiting the sale of suburban homes to African Americans, to redlining practices in communities of color, further devaluing those neighborhoods, to the GI Bill, a well-deserved financial boon to our servicemen, unless, of course, you were a serviceman of color, to the war on drugs and mass incarceration, disproportionately of men of color, to the school-to-prison pipeline, to inequities in education, employment opportunities, and compensation, to the existence of food deserts and inadequacies in healthcare. Our history is replete with both individual and systemic discriminatory practices, many of them still firmly in place today. In fact, it is these very policies and practices that contributed to and made this atrocity possible. The effects of these policies, some current and others decades and centuries old, created the segregation in our city and enabled this defendant to research and identify his target to maximize the impact of his evil intent. All of these policies and systems, either sponsored or tolerated by the government and implemented by individuals, were designed to destroy the very fabric of family life, opportunities for success, the creation of generational wealth, and even the mere existence of hope in communities of color. The harsh reality is that white supremacy has been an insidious cancer on our society and nation since its inception. And it undermines the notions of a meritocracy and the land of opportunity that we hold so dear. However, white supremacy is not inevitable or unstoppable. It has been carefully cultivated and nurtured by individuals and the government for centuries. This is the history that we have all inherited. It has been passed down from generation to generation. We must acknowledge that history. See that history for what it is. Recognize it. And learn from it, or we are doomed to repeat it. Let ours be the generation to put a stop to it. We can do better. We must do better. Our own humanity requires it. As an individual, we must call out injustice in our daily lives when we see it. We must reject racism in all of its forms. We must be conscious of the power of our words and actions and the impact they have on those around us, both intended and unintended. We must demand better of our public servants in their efforts to address inequity. And we must embrace government policies aimed at creating and fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. We must make the outpouring of support, love, and compassion that followed this heinous act an everyday practice. We are stronger together. These are hard and challenging times. Our characters are being tested. The future of our nation is at stake. Are we up to the challenge? I believe that we are. In the words of Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman, there is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. Mr. Gendron, please stand. There is no place for you or your ignorant, hateful, and evil ideologies in a civilized society. There can be no mercy for you, no understanding, no second chances. The damage you have caused is too great, and the people you have hurt are too valuable to this community. You will never see the light of day as a free man ever again. It is the judgment of this court for your conviction under the first count of the indictment, a domestic act of terrorism motivated by hate in the first degree, an A1 felony, that you be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. Under the second count of the indictment, murder in the first degree.
This was sentencing, and the judge, she is Caucasian. She's human. She is human. And this person, this young man in her, but them guys, them dealt with him as an adult. You know? Yeah. This young man journeyed 200 plus miles to kill black people based on some group and everything. And him did a whole heap of mocks and everything. Him rehearsed everything over a period of time. And him just come to that city in Buffalo and shoot up the place. Young man, you want to see him. You understand? But the judge now in the sentencing, and she did the sentencing, and all the families and friends and everybody, she allowed them to say something. So people, them, you know, our people, tell him, some of them say, yo, we forgive you, you know. But now your problem is where you're going to be going. You know, where you're going to be going. Yeah, everybody had a lot of people. It went on for a long time. A lot of people had things to say, but we were polite. You know, there was one scuffle and everything. And there was a sister that I think she lost two persons, two members of her family. So naturally, she was over-angered, you know. But, you know what I mean? And it took a lot for people them just to come up there and say, listen, you know what you've taken from us. And the only people in this earth that would do that is us, you know. So pleasant, so humane, with dignity. If you but know what you took from us. And why did you do that? I hope that you cannot sleep just thinking about what you have done. Coming so far with a plan. Yeah, I tell you, it was like very, oh my word, I'm telling you. So, this is the life, you know what I mean, that we go through. These are the experience that we go through. Now, back in the Caribbean now, instead of we get, look, I tell you, this situation here with the British consulates and the governors and all of these something here, right? It's beyond them, you know. Is that when I reflect, when Manley and Siaga, they do them something, there was a people's committee, you know, that represent the national population, and especially the working class people. I had to say working class here, I mean the ghetto people. And I want to know what happened to that committee, and I seen that committee, they made it void. So now, generations and generations are coming on. You understand? Transitioning. And just because things seem to go silent and calm during election, I think people them think say, yo, everything's all right. And everything's not all right, because we have the dancehall, and that bring madness. And whilst that is doing the madness and all the dirtiness and everything, and confuse our young men and our women, sophisticated guns over, 6-7 years, were coming in. And that conversation stopped, you know what I mean, nationally, internationally stopped. Because there was all these guns, and then there was all these bullets, and one thing went missing. And then you have to ask yourself, wait a minute, I want to take care of these something, and who like, you understand? Because you deal with soldier. But these guns and ammunition was going to police. So then you have to ask yourself, what kind of police force are you running? You understand? And then how is it that people are get all of these hey. So the guns still are going, the killing still are going, and everything. And we have a lot of churches and a lot of ministers. So, like I said, I wasn't sure what I should do, because that judge remind the world and everyone that it's slavery, it's barbaric people that caused this supremacy, the same set of people that bought us, captured us and brought us there and ill-treated us and everything. And now today, those same people want to get rid of us. You understand? Right? So when you hear someone talking like that now, you know I said that this is God's world, you know, because it appears most of the time that everybody's against us. You know? Everybody's against us. You understand? Our white people, and especially that America. But you don't hear nobody out there say, and right now I have to ask my family to keep an eye on the woman and everything, see if she's still maintaining her job, you know. Because the things that she say, you would hear that on the street with Al Sharpton and them people there. But in a court, and she make it known clear, and this is before she give the sentencing. This is her sentencing speech. This is her inductional speech. This is come from her soul. This comes from her history. This comes from her knowledge. This comes from her realization. You understand? She just didn't come up there and say, yo, she researched that, read that, documented that, and then come from her heart as well. And then she moves straight into the sentencing. Yo, it's 13 people, the young man killing her. And there's other people that was injured. And she give him life for everybody. Everyone. And I think one person get 25 years for one person. I think that was a injured person, may I tell you. Okay.
Walking down the road with a pistol in your waist, Johnny ain't too bad.
Yeah, and him come with guns, you know. Listen, over 200 miles that you drive. You understand? Right? Oh, plus the supremacist group that him linked to, the police have them all tapped, and we have to wait and what, you know, listen out and see if they got them and everything, because, it wasn't just him. It's a group that he was affiliated to, and yeah, them had the internet, and right, and he did a lot of training. But him decided, yeah, I'm gonna put this thing into practice. Over 200 miles. You understand? Him journey. And then if you read about the one, you see the court case with the one that decided to go to the church them. Oh gosh, man. Oh gosh. I don't know how come nobody never see, but then these guns and everything was in a bag. But this one, you know, we play for him and plus back home in the Caribbean. Trinidad are going bad too, and Guyana too. I don't know what happened, what kind of gun fever, what kind of things is going on.
Walking down the road with a pistol in your waist, Johnny ain't too bad. Walking down the road with a ratchet in your waist, Johnny ain't too bad. Just robbing and stabbing and looting and shooting, boy, you're too bad. You just robbing and stabbing and looting and shooting, boy, you're too bad. One of these days, when you hear a voice say, come, where you gonna run? One of these days, when you hear a voice say, come, where you gonna run? You gotta run to the rock for rescue, there will be no rock. You gonna run to the rock for rescue, there will be no rock.
Right, and that they're done long time, you know. Conditions, circumstances, nothing has changed. Come again.
Badness not pay, no. Badness not pay, no. Hey, Jude, man. Badness not pay. Attitude, man. Hear what I say. You get up every day, you chuck it with your gun. Soon one day, your fun not got done. Going around making disturbance, going around giving a jet bad name. Hey, youth man, I better you cool. Attitude man, me know you no fool. From the prison to the mark to the cemetery, that's how I know bad man end up, you see. Going around making disturbance, going around giving a jet bad name.
Yes, away you listen to all these chatty station, the man them said this man get clapped and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean? Like them a big up the fact that the police come and yeah. So that's a regular thing I go on right now, you know. Police not come and reason with nobody, you know. Police just come and shoot up the place. You understand? And then call the other people, then will come with their body bags and carry away everything. You see? Okay. Now, is there conversation taking place? I mean, the training, isn't the training of consultation? Isn't the police part of the society? Isn't the police supposed to what? They are our brethren, brothers and sisters, meant to looking after us. You understand? And anybody who do wicked things, you understand? Just make them know, say, listen, that not work. Nah, police them, the people them call themselves police, them a bad man. Yo, I win. We are say, man, long time when I hear you, come say something for me.
Not nice records. Top choice records, you know.
Please.
Hey, what's up, Portmore? Warriors. Some boy you glorify badness as if badness is something good. Hey, what's you know, not nice? Love. Badness, some boy you pray and can't afford tea, much less lawyer fee. Some say them they are head of the game, that's at the aim. Them kill sister and brother for fame. Life truth make them vex and embarrass. Only when them in a trouble them embarrass. Enough go stoop and bend for cash. Warrior happy bun them for that. Many don't know where they're going or remember where they're coming from. Shoot them keep running from. Better to be at the beach with your family having fun in sand and chasing your brother with a gun in hand. No need to hang him or slit him short. Stop sniffing coke. Life ain't no flipping joke. No care who under me. Tell the room no bother me. Legalize the herb and burn out the sodomy. Burn out the badness. Show it away. Like a ball, throw it away. Whether you do it long time or do it for day. Too much sadness. Show it away. My people look food at night. Some look it a day. The liquor that they got these took it away. Bobby wrong system, rust and stress and neck pain. Enough good people them kill fi get fame. Many get lame and get tame when them get blame. No I try explain why the 50 caliber catch brain. Mara take off like a damn jet plane. Blood soak the earth like when she.
See, I tell you, man, badness. So we are say, Chesedek. Chesedek, we are say, man, come.
Big up every hustler, we always out. Pocket of the empty food.
Yeah, we are say, hustle, come.
Big up every hustler, we always out. Pocket of the empty food, I feel reach.
Little from now, me play the video before me go. Come.
Big up every hustler, we always out. Pocket of the empty food, I feel reach mouth. If them knock the door, we a go find the next round. Me no know where them a cry, but never stop, never stop. Try. The battle hot, but the victory's mine. I never stop, never stop. Try.
And that way I say about, you know, you see every person try, and the government try, everybody try to do something that is good and something that is right. Because so you set, so you believe. You understand? And you put the Almighty first, you know. You don't put the Almighty second or third or fourth or fifth first. See? Because you work with the conscience and you work with what? Truth and rights. Yeah? And the right that you want is what I want for another. See? And at that way we fall short because we are listening to them blind people, them called pastor. And I tell you, say, you need some shepherds and fishermen. See? To work this something here that we black people, African people, Caribbean people, that we require. Anything short of that are rubbish, waste of time. You understand? And everything will go around like a merry-go-round, around and round and round again, and we're back at square one. The difference is we will be gone, and another set of people come and enjoy the same thing. And that's why people think say them are successful. Them are damn fool. There's no success there. You understand? Nothing has changed. The 1-2 hippity back person and people them that get some qualification and fortunate buy through and get a good job and everything and buy a house and so forth. People don't believe say something changed. Something's happened for them. The 1 out of 10. You understand? So that don't mean that our conditions and circumstances change. Our conditions and circumstances change when we get reparation and repatriation. At that, right, humility is when we get that too, right? We're not going to get this thing here where the people them turn around and say, yo, black people, we love you now. And we're very sorry for what our ancestors and what we think of you. No, because the Askanaki got that, and them got that under false pretense with this thing called anti-Semitic. And to show how uneducated we are work with that. And we are the Semites. When we say we, the Africans, so there's nothing to do with no European and everything. But them use the thing quick sharp, and them use the thing in the school, them use it in the politics, and they use it in the newspaper and the popular radio station, which is funded maybe by them or they're working there or something. So it's a regular thing. But then when we get an opportunity, it's a coconut head, female and male up there. One of them people that play British football, 3 Lions, idiot. And them support it. And they go against we, and we thought, turn around and say, well, and something don't measure up. That means that they're on a sense. It don't mean that they're not black enough. Them coconut. Them roast like a breadfruit to write it. You understand? And them need to get burned. Serious burn.
Big up every hustler, we always out. Pocket of the empty food, I feel reach mouth. If them lock the door, we are go find the next route. Me no know where them a climb.
Sing.
Never stop, never stop. Try. The battle hot, but the victory's mine. I never stop, never stop. Try. The battle hot, but the victory's mine. Them fight me, but them can't stop me. Try trick me, but they can't drop me. Road slip me, but they can't drop me. Cause Jaja is guiding I.
Beg for them, man. Pray for them. I tell you, man. Come again, Chesapeake. Yo.
Whoa.
Yeah, you see all the sound man them out there. Eh? Them got me as a teacher, you know. And me I help them to write it, select 1, 2 tune and give them some bravery. Cause own a punk out and try leak out and try follow Shaka and all these Antibi and everybody can't do a damn thing. You understand? And they're the one them that have all of these music here and all the Johnny Osborne and everybody. They're not too sure how to draw them again, you know. Cause it come like they were dreaming when them had them. And them have them. You see? So them lost them faculties. So when people them say, yo, hey, yeah, best I drop some tune, you know. And then the man them say, wait, him drop like 6 tune and him just streamline them like that. Cause me live it. He thinks me punk up. Me live it. Come. And I was never a selector, you know. I'm an operator. Come, boy.
Whoa.
A Rasta Chesapeake this.
Whoa.
Mix that one. Who trick you and send you cold? Them no love you, no. Who fool you and tell you come? Them want kill you, yeah. Start a movie or a show. You got see, yeah, go to all earthquake, shock and all them things there for hear something that model off some European ideology and feeling. Now here's the reggae feeling. This is the original reggae feeling. Come, Chesapeake, Rasta Chesapeake. Listen. Whoa, whoa. And this is tipper tone owner, you know. This is not some artificial. You understand? This is the owner. Come. Whoa. Trick you and send you cold.
fool you until you come.
You know why I say all of that? We can't change ourselves to fit in with some other people them that still call with bad names. We can't do that. Whether them decide to call with good name or not, we can't do that. We are who we are. You understand? Should never change to fit in. Fit in where? You fit in a toilet. Come, listen to this. Proper reggae, man. Cha! And this is not Mad Professor. May I tell you.
Whoa.
We not try give birth to punk rock and call it British reggae and all of that. No. Something wrong with them concept there.
Whoa.
Rasta Chesedek, original Rasta. Property.
Who trick you and send you cold? Them no love you, no. Who fool you and tell you come? Them want kill you, yeah. Start a movie or a show. You got to pay for what you owe. Don't do your deeds already, oh. Now it's time for you to go. The life you live in not secure. Don't leave your window nor your door. Faces you used to see before.
Jump around, Rasta, jump.
They don't want to see you no more. The road is straight, the road is pure.
Mix it.
But still you've taken a detour. You've hurt us to the core. Now you on the block. Who trick you and send you cold. Them no love you, no. Who fool you and tell you come. They want kill you, yeah. Start a movie or a show. You got to pay for what you owe. Don't do your deeds already, oh. Now it's time for you to go. When we were practicing no respect and unity.
See, man, hey, yo. Come again, Chesedek.
Whoa.
Yo!
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, you mean, man? Fire from long time. This young boy, them come out the other day and them start fire. Fire. You understand? What am I chat about? See? You can't have fire in our work. You can't have fire in our live good. Which fire? You mean the fire underneath your food? Gee whiz, man. Come on, man. Let's be sensible. Burn them, the Almighty said. When you do right, you're good. What you say? You think say you're Daniel in the lion's den? Oh gosh, man. You and Babylon are friend.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Listen sound, serious sound. Come.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
what you call the people like VP, relax yourself, you know. Control yourself, man. You understand? My niece there with you and you're going like what? Come, this is best. I work for you a long time. So, here we go now. We'll go straight into Islam and then we'll come back and we'll go to one Muslim producer and then we're gone. This one short, sweet. So, watch this and watch this keenly. This is all about the GP. You know what I mean? GP. Then people that have all this technology, for them car, so them and them airplane and them boat and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So them can navigate themselves around the world and around the communities and everything. So people are going like say, yo, you know what, we invented that. Come on, man. This is God's world. This is Allah's world. And all the piece of equipment and components that we're using is Allah's things. See? And then our brain, you think are yours? It's Allah's one like inspiration. You understand? Yes. So you don't want to give gratitude where gratitude should be given. You go and like you create yourself and everything. The most thing we do is do wrong, and some of it die crazy and die badly because we're not follow. You understand? And so forth. And some of we get sick and want to dead, you know, because the pain, the agony, take control of the body. And you beg to dead to hurt it. And we call the thing morphine, the people are gay, because them are check and examine how the morphine work with people. You understand? So wherever you go, wherever we turn, some badness there. And the badness that we create is the badness that I get with. So watch this and watch this carefully. Yeah, we'll go to the Al-Islam business now. Come.
Have you ever noticed how much we've all come to rely on GPS? It's on our smartphones, built into our cars, and some people even use GPS trackers to track their luggage and laptops while travelling. It's everywhere. So many elements of our modern world rely on GPS or the global positioning system. The most famous two examples are driving and flying. In his book Pinpoint, How GPS is Changing Technology, Culture and Our Minds, Greg Milner asserts that the pervasiveness of GPS has led to many new applications for the technology, but also some unforeseen dangers such as death by GPS. The author argues that the very way in which we think has been affected by GPS. The author cites a recent example, a Canadian couple on their way to Las Vegas who followed their GPS's directions and took a detour into a remote part of Nevada. They didn't tell anyone where they were going and soon they were stranded in the wilderness. One of them died looking for help. The other managed to survive for 50 days before being rescued. Milner says, whenever anyone hears one of these death by GPS stories, I find that the first thing you ask is, what was going on in their heads? How could this happen? One way to look at it is by what cognitive scientists and psychologists call the cognitive map. That's our sort of innate, ingrown ability to understand our surroundings and where things are in relation to other things. Now, as anyone who uses GPS to get around, especially in a strange area, knows, you don't need that part of your mind to really do that. You don't need context, you just need to follow those directions. And so as a consequence, you don't really have to know whatever's going on around you. Then the author goes on to say some have even expressed concern that the ubiquity of GPS is changing the way modern people think. The author concludes his article by sharing some sage advice. Essentially, I think what's happening is that we're losing our ability to have broad cognitive maps. When you looked down at a map, you had like a sort of bird's eye view of where everything was in relation to everything else. Now, as much as I agree that it's good advice to learn how to read a map instead of relying entirely on GPS, the author's advice is also peculiarly ironic. Why do I say this? Because the author is implying that by having a bird's eye view of where we are, like birds have, this will reduce our dependence on GPS and strengthen our internal cognitive maps. But this advice is quite simply contradictory because birds actually fly following a GPS. That's right, scientists have discovered some interesting developments in studying how birds navigate. For centuries, scientists struggled to find out how migratory birds can reach the same spot each summer and winter, generation after generation, without getting lost. Can they navigate? The answer is no. Rather, birds are controlled by a GPS. Similar to the autopilot modes in our various means of transportation, birds navigate, detect the directions, and follow a certain route in the sky using their GPS. That GPS unit in your car is certainly clever technology, but pigeons beat you hands down. They have GPS built right into their brains. Researchers like Lee Kwing Woo and J. David Dickman at Baylor College of Medicine have spotted a group of 53 cells within a pigeon's brain that respond to the direction and strength of the Earth's magnetic field. The question of how birds navigate using, among other signals, magnetic fields is the subject of much debate. These new GPS neurons seem to show how magnetic information is represented in birds' brains. According to Wu and Dickman's study, neurons in the brains of pigeons encode the direction of the Earth's magnetic field, endowing the birds with an innate internal GPS system, which surprised the researchers most of all. There are many YouTube series hosted by super enthusiastic and slightly eccentric quantum physicists that explain that birds use quantum mechanics to develop their navigation systems. One of these YouTube series is hosted by Jim Al-Khalili, a professor of theoretical physics and of public engagement in science at the University of Surrey in Great Britain, and author of several popular science books. He appears regularly on radio and television. In 2007, he was awarded the Royal Society Michael Faraday Prize for Science Communication. Professor Jim Al-Khalili spoke about one of these migratory birds, the European robin, and how this species may be relying on the quantum entanglement to develop its navigation systems. He said what's becoming increasingly clear is that the humble European robin finds its way south from Scandinavia to the Mediterranean every winter by following and seeing the Earth's magnetic field, and it does this with special molecules, light-activated proteins inside its retina called cryptochrome. In brief, flying birds are not flying haphazardly. They are controlled by a built-in GPS, just like today's autopilot function, which is controlled by GPS as well. Science proves that the birds navigate by following and seeing the Earth's magnetic field as a guide. This means they know which way that magnetic field is pointing without a compass. So just as Greg Milner feared, when you follow a GPS, you are a follower being controlled by a machine. Despite the fact that you have a mind, you are usually choosing not to use it. Birds likewise, due to their built-in GPS, are controlled and are not flying on their own. This was a surprising discovery for scientists and physicists. But you know what's even more surprising? The Holy Quran, which was written 1400 years ago, told us that it is one of God's signs that the birds in the sky are controlled. In chapter 16, verse 79, the Quran says, "Do they not look at the birds? They are controlled in the air of the sky. Nothing holds them aloft but the power of Allah. Verily in this are signs for those who believe." It seems Albert Einstein was right when he said his famous line, "God does not play dice with the universe."
Good information.
Have you ever noticed how much we've all come to rely on GPS?
Yes, some very good information. See? I tell you. Yes, so I try to be an editor. I give some very good information, and sorry about the double talk. Just know you hear 2 or 3 things. I don't know what's going on with this business here. So I want you to hear 2 tunes from W.D. Muhammad when he was counseling us, our leader. I'm sure he said, really, that we have to develop our culture, you understand, as Muslims, you know, and our players of instruments were told about the drum and so on, you know, I mean, looking into Africa and everything, and there was no problem with the guitar and so forth, right? So the only issue would be what we'll be singing about. So here comes 2 of them, and listen good, listen keenly. May I tell you, hey, ladies, babies, come.
Physical strength never been the real thing, but with your willpower I know you've been blessed by the unseen. His struggles don't ever have to tell the truth. Say your will to survive is shown in your race that's living proof. Say you're stronger.
Yeah, listen them words, eh? Yeah, I tell you, man, seriously. W.D. Muhammad inspire a whole heap of us, man. Millions, I tell you. Hundreds of thousands, to be honest, to be frank. You understand? That's the son, one of the sons of Elijah Muhammad. You understand? That bring the community to what they call Sunni Orthodox Al-Islam. You understand? The Quran and the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him. See? Yes. So listen to them lyrics there. Listen. And anybody who listen African music, you know, may I tell you, man, African soul. Listen to the. Yo, I will never go over this, sir.
Physical strength never been the real thing, but with your willpower I know you've been blessed by the unseen. His struggles don't ever have to tell the truth. Say your will to survive is shown in your race that's living proof. Say you're stronger. Say that you're stronger. Say that you're stronger. Stronger than we'll ever know. Evil-minded people had to shield you from coast to coast. Some carried life in their wounds, but they still had to go. Voyage long, ocean so wide. Newborn baby dropped to the sharks just to save his mind. Say that you're stronger. I'm sure there's no secret or something new. The respect that's due to you. Wanna thank Allah for your beautiful brown frame. But as we said before, we know the physical ain't the real thing. Deep inside lies the real you. Strength of mind is what highlights my respect for you. Say that you're stronger. Say that you're stronger. Say that you're stronger. Stronger than we'll ever know. Grandma's knowledge helped to raise all of the kids. heart every day. See, Dad, he disappeared. Now, not all families had to face such tough odds. But if tragedy struck, you know the strength was there to carry on the cause you are stronger. I'm sure there's no secret or something new. The respect that's due to you.
Trust me. Now your next one now. Here, come. Listen.
Black is beautiful.
Listen good.
And the beauty has been hidden for a long, long time. Oh, black is so beautiful. Praise be to Allah. That an angel like you could be mine. Pretty black girl, how I love you, darling. You got the grace of an African queen. And it's amazing, baby, that I love you. Pretty black girl, that I love you. Pretty black girl, that I love, 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 love. Pretty, pretty, pretty black, black, black girl. I will protect you, darling. Smile that really drives me wild. It's amazing, baby, that I love you. Pretty black girl, that I love you. Pretty black girl, that I love, 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 black girl, I love you. Pretty, pretty, pretty black girl, I love you. Pretty black girl, together we'll build a new nation. Glory, glory. Pretty, pretty, pretty black, 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 black girl. Take you, darling. Your love is sweet. You stole my heart for keeps. And it's amazing, baby, that I love you. Pretty black girl, that I love you. Pretty black girl, that I love, 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 black girl, I love you. Pretty, pretty, pretty black girl. Black is beautiful and you're mine.
See, I tell you, man. And when you up here try to remember, not the artists, but the sounds. There were several of them, the similarity. You understand? So these brothers are Muslims, and we are entertaining ourselves as black people in the diaspora, as in North America, and so on. You understand? So here in Britain now, the people them try make we feel inferior until we say what we are trying to work out for ourselves would be wrong. You understand? And we understand about the music and the instruments and you see? But then I'll give you a chance. You understand? And not only that, then I'll give you a chance. We feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we never want to be a sore thumb in the community. Even though we're just 1-2, that would have made things terrible. We're just a 1-2 people in the areas. So sorry. So we went through this period, and then the Imam empowered the sisters them to do modeling and everything, you know, between themselves, you know what I mean? Design them clothes and everything, and just have fashion designs and everything, and so forth. So then things start going on away, you know what I mean? And then the man them start do the same thing, design clothes that we feel good with, you know what I mean? As per normal, you know what I mean? We always do a thing, you understand? But now we are doing this thing, thinking about the modesty in Al-Islam, you understand? Not just pleasing ourselves, but to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow the guidance, you understand, of the Prophet of Al-Islam. And we now talk about wearing the Caucasian bow tie and suit. No. We're talking about wearing African style garments that most people, if you look carefully, you see Muslims wear, and you have North African and East African styles that you don't actually get to know, even though in many cases you see them, but you don't associate them with Africa. You associate them things with Arabia. You see? Okay. So, yeah, we've gone a long way and everything. And in Britain, we had that problem. And many men come and do a little rap thing and so forth. And next thing you know, the people now say something. And then within 4 years or so, a handful of years, right, the Arabian people, them, coming from Morocco and Arab Emirates and all these different places, come and do something, and Egypt too, right? And was wholeheartedly, with both hands and heads and money and venues, big venues, were accepted. And then we start feeling we're like, wait, not because they're up there, the fact that all the hoo-ha that we faced, them get a freebie because of the hoo-ha that we receive. But at the same time, we're not being recognized in this in this time now that them project and market the rap and the poetry and everything. You see? So I thought, you know what I mean? In this time, let me just show a lot of the brothers and sisters here that Imam Worthy Muhammad went further, because he might deal with self. See? Recognize yourself. And we can read. You understand? And we don't need someone to come validate everything that we do. You understand? We seek clarification, understanding and everything, and we're good to go everywhere. Because we're not going to turn around and change Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thing like Christians do. No. Right? But them stop when we tracks. You understand? The African American Muslim Mission, the man them go in a studio and record I had a brethren that used to help me and Hugh Mundell and Pablo called Azim. And Azim had a studio. But you was dealing with reggae music now. Me never turn around and say, yo, Azim, what kind of music you have? Me just think that the man, I deal with reggae, but people used to go there and a master for them. But the Islamic and soul and R&B, and was working with Azim. I tell you, oh gosh, man. So, yes, so that's that. You get a little bit of understanding. And Marcia and Aisha, them feel good now with them ear. The beautiful black girl. You understand? Seriously. You understand? Because them time, Elijah Muhammad try to show people, say, listen, right? You know, we're black and we're proud, and, you know, James Brown and a whole heap of other people, them right things, the Temptation, the Child Lights, everybody. You understand? Them did something to raise the awareness and everything, so we're not being beaten down. And some people just decide they're going to change the way them look to fit in a society. And that's what part of the empowerment that we're black and we're beautiful and everything was all about. Right now, today, everybody have straight hair. Not straight hair, them have different color hair. You understand? So I want to follow that up now with the Four Tops.
Baby, don't fight it. I'm coming, baby. Do you know how long a dream is? Or the reason it grows? You may ask me all these questions, but darling, no one knows. It should be clear, I really love you. Don't ask me why, I just do. Do you ask the Lord who loves you why he paints the sky clear blue? It's the way nature planned it. We were made to.
See, at that we say all the time, I saw nature planet. So why somebody want to come now and interfere? You understand? But that's what that other man does, you know, interfere with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan. Or tries to, you know what I mean? And divert people and everything. You understand? So Chesedek, where there? Where are you? Come.
Who trick you and send you cold? Them no love you, no. Who fool you and tell you come? Them want kill you, yeah. It's not a movie or a show. You got to pay for what you owe. Don't do your deeds already, oh. Now it's time for you to go. The life you live in not secure. No, don't leave your window nor your door. No, faces you used to see before. No, they don't want to see you no more. No, the road is straight, the road is pure, but still you've taken a detour. You've hurt us to the core. Now you on the block. Who trick you and send you cold? Them no love you, no. Who fool you and tell you come? Them want kill you, yeah. It's not a movie or a show. You got to pay for what you owe. Don't do your deeds already, oh. Now it's time for you to go. When we were practicing no respect and unity, a wicked man. Innocent people you live pan. Say you are the big Dan, so you going out with a big bang. Full of ammunition, link with politician. They up on a devil mission. You are destroy the youth them vision. Some could have be doctor, some could be musician. You make the decision and turn them in a gunman, and turn them in a bad girl, and turn them in a bad man, and turn them in a madman. Damn you, curse is written on you. Worm is gone on damn you, yeah. Trick you and send you cold. Them no love you, no. Who fool you and tell you go. They won't kill you, yeah. It's not a movie or a show. You got to pay for what you owe. Don't do your deeds already, oh. Now it's time for you to go.
Yes, that's everything. Bibo! Yes, sir. You get that with a rush. Don't get crushed. I tell you. So people, we are going. Yeah. We are saying, Marcia? Nah, we not go up there again. Nah, play that tune. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I cannot do that. See some good fruits there, nah? Yeah. Work with them. See? I put a whole heap of things together so you can look now, you see, really and truly. Stop waste time. You understand? Go get some. Huh? People! Praise the Lord our God. So black people, we won't be mad. And the Almighty will pronounce us to make us feel glad. Yeah. Praise Him, praise Him. Hey, what Him? Praise the Lord. The Almighty.
Nothing at all.
to remember. Remember when Marcus Garvey said, remember when the prophecy said, treat your parents in a respective way. Remember when Marcus Garvey said, yeah, yeah. Remember when the prophecy said, you have to respect them in a dignity way. Treat your grandparents, give them love in their heart. They used to work like slaves, sweating the burning sun. Remember, remember, do you remember what they used to do for I and I? How they worked so hard in a Babylon. Remember where Marcus said, remember where the prophecy said, brilliant in true life. You have to remember, remember where Marcus said, remember where the prophecy said, treat your grandparents with love. They are the one who work for us. They are the one who work like slaves and suffer so long.
Long time we down in a Babylon. Time if we join hands. A long time we down in a Babylon. We have to get over. We lay in July. Boy, boy, boy. We have to cross over River Jordan. We have to cross over Jerusalem. That's where the righteous man.
Yes, what our Imam did a call we at one stage was Balalians. See it? Balalians. You understand? Okay. Means African people, you know. Bilal, rather than Anhu, was the one who called the believers to the prayer, to prayers. You understand? Yeah, on a day-by-day basis. Plus, he was also an accountant. Plus, he was one of the closest to the Prophet. Why? He wake him for Salah every day. You understand? He made ablution and then he go wake the Prophet. He call the Azan and then he come and make ablution with the Prophet. See it? Yeah. Bilal. Very responsible person. So when you know the story of Bilal, you know the story of Abyssinia and other brothers and sisters, you understand that we are very important people. It's not that we are supremists. We're very important people. Why? Because those things we grew up seeing our parents them do. You understand? We're very resourceful and very reliable. That's we. So when you see someone we switch, we're losing ourselves, and we need to be there to this, bring them back, hold them back, and hold them up, proper one another up. So if we do for self, we will overcome all the oppression, the majority of the oppression that we does receive. You understand? But there's people them who don't want to look. You understand? Who don't want to look. You see? And if you really look and you have something to reflect upon, and everything, you see how beautiful we are as a people. You understand? Not just today, no. We did a long time. You understand? Long time. But some of us go away and desert our parents. And that's not good. So we are say guidance, we're gone. We're changing my routine this evening, right? But when you listen now to the court case and everything, realize, you know, together we do a lot of good things because we influence the goodness in humanity and other people, them soul. You understand? Because if you believe in God, you know so that God never get them or other people them something and they won't give you. Right? And so forth and so forth. So which of the favors of your Lord can you deny? None. You understand? So likewise, if we do good, good will attain us. You understand? It's not to say that the people that spit on your face and kick you and everything that you just take it. Nah. Whilst we are deal with it physically, if necessary, there's someone there morally setting the standard to make them understand that this is not the way. And if them have to get beaten, someone still tell them, say, this is why you received that, you know. See? So, I saw it go. You understand? But other people then want to go another way. And I'm saying, check 75 years and ask yourself, what have we gained? Nothing. Guidance. Yeah, we are live.
Try.
Sit around and be no fool, 'cause if you do, it will be dread. You better try, you better try, you better try, you better try,
Johnny Clark.
You better try if you wanna reach the top. Man, if you don't, you'll never succeed. Every man has a chance in life, so you must know what you wanna do. Yeah, you should know. Yeah, you should know. Yeah, you should know. Before it's too late. Every day is not the same. Man getting older and older every day. Don't sit around and be no fool, 'cause if you do, it will be dread. You better try. You better try.
Yes, don't forget, share. You understand? If you care, share. You understand? Make one know about it, man. Share it. You understand? Yeah. GPS, a real thing. You think say you never know? Of course it did. You just never pay attention. What is it? Is this another way of explaining and showing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the Quran? You understand? The Quran, Al-Quran. You understand? It's not by some man. It's come from the Creator. You understand? So we have a few more to go, which is everyday things we work with. You know, we have to come back with the water again too. You understand? Serious thing, and we'll come back with some health. You understand? Yes. Healthy eating and everything, and then we'll come back to family life. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I want to decide that they want develop an institution called family. You understand? Yeah. So, where I say, to everybody, guidance, whoever was there.